By now you should have completely read the instructions that are posted in Blackboard for this assignment, and the purpose of this video is just to help you get started. We're looking at the assembly drawing that I've provided for you in the Dropbox folder that you've downloaded, and the four corner pieces are set and constrained. This blue right front bottom level piece is pinned, as you can see up here in the project browser, with the push pin on the blue corner piece, and those are the constraints that are holding it in place. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to create another part to go into either between this blue and red one over here or this one here, depending upon what your virtual partner is doing. You're going to create two pieces, for example, this right side lower level and this back side lower level piece, and your virtual partner would complete the left side lower level piece that goes between these two and the front lower level piece that goes here. So I've started and I've created a piece for this. I'm looking at the features. I can rotate around to get a better idea of what these features look like, and I've started with this creation that I think is going to fit in there. I want all of you to pick one surface on your puzzle piece that you create that you think will be visible on the outside of this puzzle, and create a new sketch, and you're going to put your initials on there. You're going to select the text tool, you're going to click onto that sketch surface, and I want these initials to be a 1/2 inch high, which is 0.5, and I want them in all caps, and mine are LDS. I'll say OK, and I will finish the sketch. So I've got my initials on that piece. Now I think this is going to fit, so I'm going to go back to my assembly, and I'm going to place that part, which I have named with my last name and then side 1 base. And I want you to follow this naming convention on your puzzle pieces. I want you to use your last name, and then I want you to put either side, back, or front in the name, as well as base, middle level, or top level. And you've seen the picture there in Blackboard that shows how the total puzzle will encompass an area that's 11 inches by 11 inches by 11 inches. So be sure to name your pieces with your last name, whether they are a side or a front. You can use right side, left side if you like, and whether they're a base, middle, or upper level piece. So we're going to get this singleton side 1 base part, bring it into the model, and the first thing I'm going to need to do is rotate it so that it will fit in the way that I designed it to fit. Remember, we're going right over here. If I look at that, I can see that I need to rotate this on my y-axis, so I'll right click, rotate y 90 degrees. Now that part is ready to place in, so I left click, hit escape. There's my part, moves around now. The first thing I want to do, and you should do this with your parts well, is I'm going to constrain this with 2 flush constraints and 1 edge constraint. So I get the constrain tool, I change this from a mate to a flush, and I want to indicate that I want this surface to be flush with, and it could be either one of these 2 surfaces. Apply that, and now I want this top surface to be flush with either this surface or this surface. Apply that. Now I'm going to go to a mate constraint, and I want to mate. I have a lot of choices here, but I'm just going to say this edge and this edge. I click OK, and I'm finished with my constraints. Now I want to kind of check and make sure that this piece is fitting in like I want it to fit in, that it's correctly created. So I'm going to take another angle view over here. That looks good. Now I'm going to look at it from the bottom. Oh, I see a problem. Right here, that doesn't go all the way into that slot, which was a 2-inch slot. So I'm going to right click here on that piece, and I'm going to open that piece. Now I have to just find the extrusion. There it is. that I used to define that extrusion, I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to edit that feature, and I'm going to go right down here and change that to 2 inches and say OK. Now when I go back to my puzzle assembly, in the view where I left it, I can see that that has expanded out and completely filled in that slot. Go back to my home view. My initials are on the piece. They're visible here on the puzzle. The next thing I'm ready to do is to move around and create a puzzle for the back side here. So I've created another part here. I've named it Singleton Back Base, and we'll try to bring it into our puzzle and see if it's going to fit in place correctly. Place, Singleton Back Base, open. And how does it need to be rotated? Again, I need to rotate this on my y-axis. One more time. Now it's ready to place. I'm just going to click it in, hit escape. First thing I'm going to do is make the top surface flush with either this one or this one. Apply that, and I'm going to make this front surface flush with this one, and I'll apply that. Now I'm just go ahead and cancel so I can drag this thing around a little bit, and looks like it's going to work. I just need to finish this constraint now with one edge. I have a lot of choices to choose from. It defaults to mate here. Let's just mate that edge with that edge. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. There. And I say OK, and it looks like I'm done. Now let's check the bottom view and see if we have anything, missed anything there. Nope. That looks pretty good. I could have put something over there, but then again, that can be caught by my virtual partner when he or she describes and creates the piece to go in this gap. So let's go back to our home view. Let's check out the inside here by just changing the angle one more time. Yeah, that looks good. No problem there. But I have forgotten something, and I've got my initials on it. But I need to have a feature in the top of this block somewhere that will enable the middle level, the row of parts that get created for the top of this puzzle, to engage with this piece. So what I'm going to do is open this part again and go ahead and create a feature on the top of it, and I'll just go up here with a new sketch and create a 1 inch by, well, let's do a 1 by 1 inch extrusion, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out 2 inches deep. So when I get my extrusion tool, change the depth to 1, pick the surface, change the direction of it, and that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to get my initials drugged down here where they're visible and not in that spot. And if I go back to my assembly, I see now that that puzzle piece, that feature of this puzzle piece is in place. And when the piece gets put on the top row, that will fit right in there. But you know what? I don't like it being 2 inches deep. I'm going to go back. I'm going to open this piece again. I want to edit that feature. If I hover here, I can see it's this extrusion, so I'm going to right click, edit that feature, and change the depth of my extrusion from 2 inches to 1. I'm happy with that. Now you'll proceed and follow the instructions that are posted in Blackboard. When you have these first two pieces done, then you're going to follow the instructions in Blackboard on how to submit that. And you're going to move up to the middle level and create 4 pieces for the middle level. Your partner will be doing these other 2 pieces for the lower level and their own 4 pieces for the middle level as we move on up and to create this second and then the third level of our 3D puzzle. That's it for now.